Welcome to another episode of the Miles Offside podcast, where we talk a little bit of football and a whole lot of nonsense. My name is Oscar Puente, also known as Footy from Afar, and with me, as always, are my co-hosts, FPL champion Chuck Bailey and super producer Ian Stimpson. Boys, how are you doing? You've been feeding the kids, you've been getting your MBE awards, what's going on over there?
I only fed one kid, and that was, that was good. I was happy.
You have to, on that one.
Yeah, there's obligations involved. Some legal, some not. Who knows? Marcus Rashford, what a guy. I love him.
Sir Dr. Marcus Rashford.
Professor Dr. Marcus Rashford, MD, PhD, MBE, OBE, King in the North. I fucking love him. So much. He
didn't score on Chelsea, so I love him this week as much as any other week.
Don't sully this with football.
Yeah,
surely, if he had scored, you'd just been like, "That's nice." Like even against Chelsea, you'd just be like, "Yeah, that's nice."
If it was in like a winning result and he scored, sure.
Yeah,
I care much more about Chelsea Football Club than I do about hungry children. I'm going to be very honest about that.
Fine.
I stand by that take.
I wish you wouldn't.
I wish, yeah. You're alone on this hill.
To be clear, I don't actually, but I kind of do, but I'm not joking, but I am joking. Something like that. I don't know. Is it Dr. Sir Marcus Rashford or is it Sir Dr. Marcus Rashford?
No,
Which one comes first?
He's not knighted yet. They haven't thrown that one at him to shut him up yet.
So which one's MBE? Which one's OBE? Like, what is he now? Is he like Duke Marcus Rashford?
No. Knighthood is a separate thing from the OBE, MBE, CBE thing.
KBE. No. Well, it's a KBE.
Oh, is it?
Isn't it? Yeah, because it's a knight commander, I believe, and then that counts the same as a knighthood-ish. So it's Sir.
Cool. So when does he get Excalibur?
Oh, that's when he has to find the Lady of the Lake. He probably has I wonder if he does have a round table. He's probably got a nice kitchen island.
He's got a round table and he feeds kids around it.
He's feeding kids. He's feeding kids everywhere. He's Jesus. Except he's better than Jesus because he realises maybe don't just share like 2 loaves of bread and 5 fish. Maybe give them an all right amount of food.
Some turkey twizzlers and a load
feed more. Yeah.
And he converts his XG into actual goals at a much higher rate than Jesus does. So
yeah, it's like that's basically turning water into wine. He made people not despise Man United.
Wow,
you know what I
take
mean?
It easy now. Not despise Marcus Rashford.
These are biblical level of miracles that we're talking here. He's made a generation of people possibly tolerate Manchester United. And that's
is the best we can hope for.
That's the best you can do, yeah. But yeah, if you are coming back from the last time we did an episode, thank you. We are always happy to have listeners. Go ahead and tell a friend. Share the good stuff with everybody.
The word of the good Lord Rashford.
That's right. Yes, and us as well.
Our Lord and Saviour. And
we're going to kick things off, as we always do, with our famous, very famous segment. Rapid fire news. Top story this evening. Chuck, you get one line, one joke about this. Mustafi has rejected an Arsenal contract, wants to leave next summer. Hit me with the joke.
He just couldn't do it to anymore. The pain and the suffering is too much.
For who?
Yeah, which one?
Pick.
All of the above. Arsenal fans got to be happy today, right?
I love that you tell me one joke, one line, go.
No, then you get one joke, and then I can keep talking after that. Me and Ian are just going to go here for a while.
Oh, right, he's limiting you, Chuck.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm on a word count.
All right, moving on. We do want to get through the rapid fire this week because we have a lot of stuff to get through. Genuinely rapid firing. Manchester United midfielder Paul Pogba has denied media reports that he quit the France national team over comments made by the country's president, Emmanuel Macron, which were perceived to be against Islam. Pogba says, "The Sun did it again. 100% unfounded news about me, going around stating things I have never said or thought. I'm appalled, angry, shocked, and frustrated." And the Sun has since rescinded the story. Gentlemen,
I thought you were citing the Sun as a source there, but if we're slacking him off, that's absolutely fine.
No. The Sun are trash. Are there any other stories that you think the Sun should rescind before we move on?
I don't know. The last 60 years of publications.
Yeah. Jesus.
Paul Pogba quitting France. Good or bad for France?
Graham Souness.
He's furious about it. He's absolutely furious.
Pogba just needs to do more.
Just do more. Yeah, win the World Cup.
Stop worrying about your haircut.
I like his haircuts. I don't know. Let's not get into it. Anyway, next story. Dutch giants Ajax have recorded the biggest victory in the history of the Dutch top flight with a 13-0 thrashing against mid-table side VVV Venlo, who had a player sent off.
They're mid-table, though. They're not even, like, relegation fodder. I mean, I don't follow the Dutch league.
Well, they are a yo-yo team, like, actually.
Okay. But still.
But when's the last time, like...
It's quite funny, because Ajax went up and down on them a lot. Whee! Usually you have to go to Amsterdam to get fucked. This time Amsterdam came to them. Whee!
God, lovely.
And it was only 4-0 when they went down to 10 men.
So just the 9 goals after that?
Yeah, but still, they were getting around Tonkin before that, you know.
Yeah.
Lassina Traore will probably be disappointed as he didn't get the double hat-trick.
Oh, it's annoying when that happens, isn't it?
Only 5. Not greedy.
Really
Do you think people are going to criticize them for celebrating like the US women at the World Cup did when they won like 99-0 or whatever?
Oh, God, that was, against Thailand. Fuck. It made me think of that. I think that was 12-0.
I don't remember the actual score.
The Thai goalkeeper was about 5'3", I think. 5'4". Yeah.
Yeah, but at least it wasn't Kepa, right? Like, think about how bad it would have been then.
God, it could have been much worse.
Or this random Dutch side. Imagine if it was Kepa in that goal. What's it, 26-0 now?
Oh, doesn't bear thinking about.
My dude has a 50% save rate, so... But he hasn't played for Chelsea in a week, so that's great. Let's move on. I mean, I don't really have much else in terms of news stories.
We're not talking Peterborough.
Right? That was
4 on the bounce.
Oh, yeah.
Second in the league.
Let's check in from Peterborough Island. What's going on over there?
Well, 2 weeks ago, I'm not on the podcast, and it gets more Peterborough mentions, more Darren McAntony mentions than we've ever had.
This is true,
beautiful.
actually. Yeah.
Beautiful. I really enjoyed it. But yeah, 4 wins on the bounce now. It looks like new signings are settling in. We're doing good things. Beating the likes of Wigan, Hull.
The big names. all the hits, all the greats.
Fuck you, they're big names in League One.
You guys are now 40% to make the playoffs, 41% to get promoted. How's that higher? That doesn't make sense, but okay.
Yeah.
And 17% to win League One.
Fucking right and all. It's coming together. We've got the best midfield in the league, no question. Could do with our main striker we sort of got to replace Tony. Do with him firing a little bit more regularly, but he seems to be finding his shooting boots. We've got more, Peterborough have always been famously the Chelsea of League One.
Of course. Yeah.
Famously. Where, we let in a lot, but we score a lot. But clean sheets are happening.
Oh, right.
We're looking like Golden Glove. What's that joke?
I was wondering where you were going with the Chelsea reference, because I thought Peterborough don't spend a lot of money or win anything.
No.
How? I mean,
there are a lot of things that are the Chelsea
blue
thing.
Kit.
We do play in blue, yeah.
Blue kit.
Yeah, that is where the similarity ends.
FC.
No, what? We played the same sport, yeah.
2 E's in Chelsea, 2 E's in Peterborough.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I appreciate you for stretching that metaphor as long as it could. But anyway, but
Give the listeners a second to stop spelling out Chelsea and Peterborough, because I'm still like on it. Yep. Okay. Yeah. 2 E's. I
play in the Western Homes Arena, and Chelsea make their home in the western part of London.
Yeah.
Sort
I appreciate you knowing the stadium, but yeah.
Well, it's no A. I preferred it as the A-backs, but
the A-backs, yeah.
The A-backs.
Ian, I'll clear out some runway for you here. Do you want to take 30 seconds on Project Restart, which isn't actually happening, and how that affects the League One teams as the lower league sort of correspondent here?
Big picture, not Project Restart. You knobhead.
Project Big Picture. Sorry, I always do that.
Project Miles Offside. I mean, it's a tricky one, isn't it? Because obviously there's 92 clubs in the league. The vast majority of them are never going to reach the Premier League. I know you hate the pyramid, Oscar. Genuinely hate it. You despise the pyramid. But, like...
I don't even, but that's definitely a bit now, so I'll go with it. Yeah.
But the vast majority of those teams are never going to make the Premier League. So, like, I'm sort of surprised that they didn't go for it, because most of the lower league clubs decided to go against it. But because it would have been a lot of money But Peterborough are pretty well placed, but there's a lot of clubs that aren't well placed. But I think you guys really did a good job at summing it all up, and that there were a lot of genuinely fine ideas with Project Big Picture. But the big six going for that power grab when, like, just 20 years ago, the biggest six clubs in the country might have been completely different, and certainly 30 years ago, totally different, the big six. So
Sure, yeah.
it's sort of, you can't just set it in stone like it is at the minute. It would have been a lot of money for a lot of clubs that are struggling immediately, but there, as Chuck pointed out, I think there was a lot of that was slightly sort of shrouded in things that might have already been happening anyway, money wise, or whatever, parachute payments possibly getting cancelled anyway and things like that. So yeah, I mean, I'm as a neutral football fan when it comes to the Premier League, I think it's a good thing it was biffed pretty quickly, but it could, as Chuck said, just be an opening gambit really, couldn't it, for negotiations? So who knows?
Yeah, and then they went from there to Project Move to Europe permanently. Or
Well, yeah, exactly.
We won't even talk about that because that's clearly not going to happen.
Project
but, like,
Brentrance? Is it Brentrance?
Brentrance.
Yeah.
I like that. All right, well, let's get to the fixtures, right? Because there's plenty to talk about. We didn't talk about 2 weeks ago. Crazy weekend. We won't really touch on it other than to laugh at all the late goals, including my club, whatever. But let's talk about this recent round of fixtures. Friday, October 23rd, the big one, the one that they're all paying to see. Was this one on pay-per-view?
It was, yeah.
It was? Okay, great.
$14.95.
$14.95, that's right. And we had Aston Villa 0, Leeds 3. Aston Villa putting up 1.5 on XG to Leeds' 2.4. A very solid victory for Leeds, who look surprisingly good, gentlemen.
They rode their luck a bit. There was a few unfortunate things, like Grealish had a great shot cleared off the line. He then turned full, selfish mode, and he made this amazing run from just inside the Leeds half. And could have laid it off to Watkins for the opportunity for a goal. It was still at 0-0. I feel like there may have been a penalty shout in there, ? Or something. And then just Patrick Bamford decided to be good at football.
Patrick Bamford decided to be good at football. I have some fucking numbers on this because we've talked about how ridiculously bad he is at finishing.
He's bad, yeah.
So far this season, he is converting shots at a rate of 26%. So that is 1 in every 4 shots he takes becomes a goal. Historically, his rate for his entire career is 13%, and last season was 11%.
11!
So somewhere between 1 in 8 to 1 in 10 shots he takes becomes a goal. Now he's doing 1 in 4. By comparison, Sadio Mane last year was 24%. Aubameyang was 22%. Vardy was 22%. Kane was 21%. Sterling was 21%. He's doing better right now, and obviously this is a small sample size, but people are talking about, let's get Bamford into our fantasy teams. Let's do that. This is just an insanely hot finishing streak, and this is not who he is.
Pookie did this too. Remember Pookie, guys.
Yeah.
Just saying. It did look a bit like, especially for not really the second goal, but the third goal. It was like, the bit in Space Jam where they give the ball to Muggsy Bogues and Charles Barkley, and they steal all the talent, and then afterwards they're just a bit floppy and they can't really play properly. And the third goal, that's what the Villa defenders reminded me of. Because Bamford just kind of stands there, and he does hit it really well, and it's quite unexpected and a bit of a snapshot, but they're just kind of don't really know do we go to tackle it? Are we a bit worried about putting our arms out? What if we give away a penalty? Oh, he scored.
You just don't get that sort of Space Jam analysis with Gary Neville, do you?
So Space Jam analysis is what's needed in the world.
You just don't get it with Gary Neville. You just don't.
Yeah.
He's famously anti-Toon. His racist views against Toons is just well documented in media.
He's just not loony. He's just not loony, guys. He's just not going for it. He is sensible.
Famously.
Gary.
That was out of character though, because Aston Villa have the third best defense in the league so far by the underlying numbers. So for them to ship 3 goals to Leeds was pretty extraordinary. Aston Villa, we should take a moment to say, have been genuinely pretty good this year. It's very confusing. They've been good against good teams. They've played well. I don't know. I have no takes on that. Is it Ross Barkley? Is Ross Barkley fixing Villa? What the fuck?
They have spent a lot of money since coming up last year, and it has seemed to work out so far, at least.
I think keeping Grealish was big too.
Keeping Grealish was huge, and then adding into Grealish, it's kind of the same thing as what needs to happen with Palace with Zaha, is that you get more threats around, and then the threat becomes bigger and it becomes more than the sum of its parts. It seems to be what's happening at Villa at the minute, especially as he's the local boy, captaining the club. Dean Smith is local to the area, managing the club. I'm pretty sure he is a Villa fan as well. And so that kind of energy can then radiate out into the other players.
And they're all scared that John Terry's going to knob their wives and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a genuine fear. Fear, it can be a bit of a motivator as well.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, I just think they've done really well and bedding in a lot of signings. I mean, it's fine margins. That VAR gets switched on last season and we're not even talking about this now, and they don't get to beat... Aston Villa don't get to beat Liverpool 7-2. I think I mentioned that once or twice.
We'll get to it.
7-2.
I think we got to it.
We did get to it. That's right. Let's move on then to Saturday, October 24th of 2020. Early kickoff, we had West Ham 1, Manchester City 1. West Ham putting up 0.3 to Man City 0.9.
Madness.
A really, really boring match featuring a very big team. This will be a running theme throughout the weekend. But let's start off with City here. Do we want to talk about City first, or do we want to talk about West Ham first?
West Ham, because West Ham they seem to be doing things a bit backwards. They lost to Newcastle and Arsenal, and then they beat Wolves, Leicester, drew with Tottenham. Well, but effectively what felt like a win against Tottenham. Getting a 12-minute 3-0 down comeback on. And then going ahead against City, and then kind of not giving City that many chances, question mark?
No, they definitely switched off after they went up. That's why they only put up 0.3. Yeah. But that is very much a game state thing. They looked good before, and then they scored, and they were like, all right, this is against City. We are ahead. Let's fucking shut it down right now. And they didn't do shit afterwards.
Yeah.
And we should, and I do want to jump on board there and say that West Ham have been genuinely very good in attack from all of the season. They have the 4th highest XG. They're above Chelsea and just below Everton, Liverpool, and Tottenham on XG created this season. So
It's been
really good.
It's been effective. Antonio's been the 2nd highest scoring English player since Project Restart, I believe. I think Harry Kane's
player
ahead.
in the entire league, yeah.
Only Harry Kane's ahead. Jared Bowen is settling in much better and is getting more direct. Fornals has stepped up since they've moved Felipe Anderson on. He never really worked like Payet, kind of. Towards the end, and he's been moved on to Porto on loan. And they've got quite a lot. They bought Benrahma in, who hasn't played yet. So I'm starting to think they wouldn't necessarily change something that's been going good, but things are looking good for them. They're getting decent results so far,
and against good teams, as you mentioned.
Has coronavirus given David Moyes superpowers? That he is now adequately able to manage a Premier League club that could score goals.
This does genuinely feel like David Moyes back in the Everton days. They were a good team. People forget that he got that Man United job for legitimate reasons. He was a really good manager at Everton, and I feel like he hasn't had
Alex Ferguson. Yeah. I mean, he's got his new Fellaini in that Souček. Souček's his new Fellaini.
Yeah.
Tall, strong.
And it works though. It works when it works. It's good. We joke. David Moyes has been shitty, but
You mentioned their expected goals there, Oscar. Have you got their expected goals allowed? How are they doing defensively?
Sure. Yeah. Ranking by XGA, they are 5th.
Right,
so they're 4th in XG and 5th in expected goals allowed. So they're just a good team.
Because with their players, I always expected their attacking to sort of fall into place eventually. But obviously defensively is something that can, that can take a bit more time.
Who was the center mid that was their captain that they just kept playing and playing and playing even though he sucked because of loyalty and shit?
Mark Noble.
Mark Noble.
Noble. Yeah. He was a huge problem for them in that they just kept trying to play him when he wasn't good anymore.
No.
Oh, Ian's super upset at this moment. What's going on?
I'm just a big Mark Noble stan, that's all.
Ian appreciates men his own age still playing professional sport.
Exactly.
Oh my god! Rapid fire news. How did we not fucking put this in there? Petr Cech.
Yes.
Back on the Chelsea squad.
We'll get to a Chelsea.
We'll get to it. Okay, fine. Sorry. Just speaking of old people, I got really excited for a second because I forgot about
he's not the oldest goalkeeper even in the club.
Well, yeah, Willie's actually literally a year old. We'll get to it. Okay, so let's go to the Man City side of it here then. Man City have struggled,
lost,
to put it generously, this season so far.
Could you say floundering?
Please do.
Floundering.
Is that? I mean, that wasn't literally a repeat verbatim, but that was quite nice.
Oh, okay, sorry.
It was lovely though.
Would that be an assessment of Man City? ?
I think there's structural problems.
They're fucking 13th. They're 13th after 6 games, man.
Well, yeah, fuck the table. It's so early. Like, fuck actual table points. I don't care about that. But, like, their performances, which is what matters a lot more early in the season.
You would fucking say that this week, wouldn't you?
Why?
Fuck the table. Jesus, come
on. Why? What about the table am I supposed to be mad at?
We'll get to it.
Peterborough second in the table. The table is solid. There's nothing wrong with the table. The table speaks the truth.
Because Palace are above Chelsea. Is that what you're getting at, Chuck?
There we go.
On the gap.
Yeah, I don't care about that at all.
City,
though. City. Genuine structural problem. I think this is a really exciting time as a neutral to be looking at City because Pep is like undoubtedly a genius of a manager, but every single job he's ever had, he came into a team that was already one of the best teams. And he got by far the most out of that talent and brought in pieces here and there to make it better.
Right.
And just took them to the highest heights that you can imagine, right? Like, his Barca team is probably the best club team ever. His Bayern team fucking destroyed everything, won Champions Leagues, et cetera, et cetera. And at City, they, like, were the best Premier League team ever for a couple of years there, right? Like, but now, Pep has never had to do a rebuilding. This is now the longest he's been at any club already, right? Like, this already is a season longer. And this is very clearly a team that is in need of a rebuild. And we had been kind of hinting at that for years, but they kept going and coasting and doing good. And it seems like a lot of the problems that had been magically disappearing because they're Manchester City and because he's Pep are no longer magically disappearing. And I think this was really good evidence of that because they didn't really try to change their system to play against West Ham. They just played they played the City way.
Mm-hmm.
And we're getting now to the point where, like, they're not so good that they can get away with just being City and playing the way that they play and just overpowering everyone.
But it's not.
He's gonna have to start tinkering his
They haven't
tactics.
even looked as dynamic as they normally do. Like, how often has the City tactic been get down to the byline, cut back to the edge of the 6-yard box, tap in goal? Like, I haven't seen them even attempt that once. It looks like they're not even trying to penetrate at the minute because they haven't had a striker. Then Aguero comes back and 45 minutes later he's gone again. He doesn't want to play Liam Delap, even though he's an actual striker. And, like, I get it. Like, Raheem Sterling is a better player. However, in that role, is he going to play as well as an actual target man-ish to be able to play off of? Probably not. And then Jesus is injured for God knows how long. You can only throw so much money at centre-backs before... You know what I mean? Like, brilliant. You can all play out the back and you can all pass. Fantastic.
I think they've still got a bit more in them.
It needs, yeah. And it's mad that you look at that team and you start to question it and think, is it crumbling? Is this, I think I've said this before, is this like Pochettino at Spurs that you need so much of a refresh because the man is so intense and so insane? Do you need new players who can buy into the cult? Or does the whole thing come tumbling down because you're like, I'm sick of this?
I don't know if Pep has the patience to do a rebuild the way this is going, or even to stick around. I don't know that he would quit halfway through a season. That's probably harsh. But I don't know that he has the patience to, like, actually see this all the way through the way that needs to be done. You know what City could actually use? I can't believe I'm going to fucking say this sentence right now. Ugh.
Oh, here we go.
But they need a Jordan Henderson. Ugh. Excuse me while I throw up for a second. Sorry. They need a boring, not that talented, everyman kind of central mid who just gums up and does dirty work and helps transition and, like, just runs around. Like, they need...
But are we saying that Jordan Henderson's nickname should be the Constipator? Is that...
I'm down.
Okay, so playing in that Constipator role... I can dig it. I can dig that. Yeah, because we said before, like, Fernandinho, and now he's injured or he got sent off or some bollocks. He does some...
And he plays centre back now.
Stupid
and, like,
thing, or he's a centre back, or he's 38 years old, or you know what I mean? Like, yeah, they do.
All right, great. Let's move on then to The second kickoff of Saturday, Chuck, I'm sure you'll be happy to talk about this one. We had Fulham 1, Crystal Palace 2. Fulham 1.1 to Crystal Palace's 2.8 on XG.
2.8. We generated 2.8. I'm still annoyed.
With no possession whatsoever, too.
I'm still, I said this before, and the win is the expected result. And I will say, for this whole week, if you actually look, disregard all of this season so far, and
done.
Right? Yeah, fair enough. And look at the results this week, right? None of that really looks that surprising. But in the shape, based on historical, all of these things are believable, just normal, boring kind of shit. As opposed to the craziness and chaos that we have had. And, Palace beating Fulham is the expected result. It should fucking happen. But it's not sustainable to play that you can go to the worst team in the fucking league and give them 70% of the ball. What's the point of inviting that much pressure on yourselves? Just go, blow them out the water. Do fucking something. Keep the ball.
It's fucking Fulham.
It's Fulham. It's Fulham. You're not going to get these opportunities. You know what I mean? It doesn't happen much in this league to lay down an absolute marker and go, you know what? We actually can play in a different way. No. And you give a team like Fulham that then went down to 10 men later on, fair enough, and then you just kind of lax off. And then obviously Tom Kearney, you can't take anything away from the hit, and I'm not saying it's not ridiculous, but don't allow him to even take that shot. Don't have them in that situation where they can even score a goal and cost me a load of fantasy points, you pricks. So yeah, obviously I'm happy to win, but we need to be able to show we can play in a different way. And if we can't play in a different way against, on paper, you look at that squad, and that's actually quite a good squad. And I think if Fulham can build something, I don't know if Scott Parker's the person to do it. They can possibly not be the worst team in history in the Premier League? ? Adam Lookman is looking really, really bright, and he wants to actually do something. Ruben still is not up to any sort of speed at the moment. Mitrovic, we all know what he can do.
But he's looking fine.
Yeah.
He's so handsome.
Yeah, okay.
He's so handsome.
Mario Lemina was a good player for Southampton. There are some good pedigrees in there. Areola was the fucking PSG keeper. So I think they can pull some stuff back. But, show... My ideal situation now is just kind of trundle along to January, keep up a decent enough points per game, and then, in January, I'm not even necessarily that bothered about signing any players, but show us what the plan is, what's going to happen at the end of the season. Announce this will be Roy Hodgson's last season, this will be the person who will take over. Maybe work on some signings for that and start to build towards it, because at the minute, it's just not looking like it. There's any sort of progress, or Roy wants to do anything other than be a Jordan Henderson in manager form and just constipate games, and just try to gum them up. And Palace are good at hitting teams at the break, of course, but against a team like Fulham, try and fucking break down a team for once, try and actually go, you know what, we're just going to dominate, and we're going to try and play a different way, and we're going to play this really exciting player who's one of the top performers in the Championship that we just signed for 20 million. You know what I mean? Give us something, give us more attacking. Don't just keep the same turgid formula of, no player's going to get dropped ever, or we're just going to rotate our centre-backs and that's only through injury.
Are there no positives from this at all, Chuck? Because
there's 3 points.
Yeah, man, come on. Batshuayi started.
Yeah, Batshuayi, 2 offside goals in the last 2 games of Batshuayi, which is a bit frustrating. Jeff, fuck. And, Wilf is absolutely playing his best football. He's outscored last season. He is gunning for a transfer.
But you got more open play XG in this game than the previous 5 combined. That's taking away set pieces. So step in the right direction, no?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to give
you seem less happy than I thought you would. I gotta
know.
say.
I mean, like it's like you can put a cat in the oven that don't make it a biscuit. You know what I mean? Like.
I don't know what you mean at all. I'm going to assume that's one of those weird English things.
I've never heard it. So.
No?
Okay. Could be a Chuck thing, could be an English thing. Unclear.
Okay.
But, you can't turn a cat into a biscuit in the oven, as I like to say.
Exactly.
Well-known saying.
So, but we have a good run of games coming up. I'm still annoyed about the Brighton result that we conceded late. That was the same kind of formula.
Yeah.
And it's just like, if potentially we don't get a second goal in that game, let's say, and we let Fulham in, we're at the same point. And it's like, if you don't have that killer thing of just shutting the fuck games down, and teams like this that, like, a team that's been in the Premier League for 8 fucking seasons, like, it starts to feel a bit Stokey. You know what I mean? And I said this year that Palace are at a crossroads with how they're going to be. And a lot of people tipped to go down, and I thought, like, we can go higher, and we can do. But we do also have all the makings of one of those teams that is, inverted commas, too good to go down, and does.
So...
You know what I mean? Like, I think there needs to be... I've said it for like 3 seasons now, there just needs to be a different fucking way to play. And I don't think it's going to come under Hodgson or in this formula. And I worry that we've got a lot of players out of contract coming up that haven't signed them. And if then Hodgson signs another extension, like, we've killed the career of an incredibly promising crop of players able to take the club to the next level, especially coupled with the academy category 1 status, all these, like, being in a really good financial position, all this kind of thing. So more conservative. I want to see more.
Yeah, so let me ask you a philosophical question then, because, like,
oh shit,
as an American, I wasn't going to pick a relegation potential team. Like, they weren't even on TV back in the day, let alone, like, something I want to be signing up for voluntarily.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to sort of get into that headspace. But would you rather be a Stoke for the next 5 years, boring 0-0s, 1-0s, always playing for a draw, kind of like really Pulisic type teams? Mm-hmm. Or would you rather fucking go for it, have 2 fun seasons, and then get relegated? Like, which would you choose right now? Deal with the devil, like, guaranteed this is exactly what's going to happen?
Yeah, it's difficult. Because I'd never want to take any... Like, the people that say, we need to get relegated so we can go down, clear out...
I've never understood that.
Dumb.
No, fuck that. Yeah.
That's absolutely dumb.
Yeah.
But
do you want to stay up middling, or do you want to see some fun with a chance of going down?
I don't like staying up middling, but, like, not scraping through on the seat of our pants to get there every time. You know what I mean? Like, if there is more consistency and variety in the way we play, and that's just the level of your club, like, I can accept it. But when it's like you have the potential to do more, you're playing in a way that limits the way you play, and then within that you then overperform. You know what I mean? It's weird to... Like, it wouldn't necessarily take a lot to then actually perform at the level the stats, etc., say you should do, and then that puts you in a hell of a lot of trouble in this league, especially as year on year we see clubs come up from the Championship and just take to it straight away. Apart
like Leeds.
From Fulham and West Brom.
Yeah, well, Fulham are bad.
And that's all I got to say about that.
All right, well, let's move on then to an incredibly fucking boring match involving my own team here. Our second boring 0-0 of the week, actually, if you include the Champions League, which is very confusing. We had Manchester United 0.
A lot of people are saying you're the Peterborough of the Premier League.
That's right, yeah, because we play in blue and have 2 E's in our name. That's
a lot of people are saying that, I don't know.
A lot of people are saying it. 0.7 to 0.2 on XG, so fucking boring watching. Did either of you watch this one, and what did you make of it as not Chelsea fans, if you did?
I have a theory.
Okay.
That the chaos of the season reached critical mass.
Yeah.
And the 2 most chaotic forces in the league this year met, and as such, the whole thing has crumbled. And I think we will see instant and aggressive regression to the mean. There has been some sort of event horizon. And we're now... That's it.
Honestly, it did feel like last weekend was a tipping point for so many teams. The ridiculous late comebacks, all of the lead changes, all of the terrible, like, the stuff that we loved as neutrals, that, like, and we're laughing at Tottenham, we're laughing at Liverpool, we're laughing at Palace, you guys are laughing at me. Like, it was good times all around with how fucking crazy it was, and I think that, like, all of the teams, really the entire league this week woke up. Like, you know when you're in college or, like, in your early 20s, you wake up and you're like, oh my God, what the fuck happened last night? I really need to get my life together. Like, what the fuck, guys? That was the Premier League this weekend, and that was Chelsea this past week. Like, Lampard after the 3-3, which, by the way, I would take that 3-3 over this 0-0. I'm just going to say that, even though that was frustrating last week. I will take that.
So against keeping a clean sheet.
Fuck, no, like...
Just defend it.
That.
Like, you can do both.
No.
There's literally positions designated that allow the formation of both things to happen. Like, you can score goals and not concede them.
Nah, every team is flawed, right? Even, well, maybe not Liverpool. Well, maybe with Van Dijk out, but whatever. Every team is flawed, right? So, like, we don't have good defenders. We got better defenders than we used to have. Mendy is better. Silva has been really good when he plays. He really does organize the back. Chilwell is much better than Alonso. Like, you know, Mendy has, 3 clean sheets in 4 appearances for Chelsea?
It's amazing what a difference a goalkeeper who is competent at the basics of goalkeeping can do.
Yes, absolutely. All of that said, and that is like the good thing about these last 2 matches, these last 2 boring matches, is like, oh, we are capable of defending sometimes, I guess, right?
Adequacy.
When we have not great defenders and one of the most talented group of attackers in the fucking world in Christian Pulisic, Timo Werner, Kai Havertz, and Hakim Ziyech, why are we not running the fucking score up? We spent so much money on these amazing attackers, and we spent less money on less talented defenders who are still pretty good. I don't want to be sitting here watching a parked bus 0-0. I'm sorry. I know that, like, I've read so many articles of, like, oh, Lampard showing responsibility, showing maturity, really blah, blah, blah. I'm like, can we not go 3 at the back and just not take any fucking shots? Like, I'd much rather run the score up and risk a 3-3 than this shit. Also, this is not viable long term. We don't have the fucking talent to keep clean sheets consistently. Right? Like, even this, like, it's only because United also was like, fuck, we gotta calm down. Let's not actually go at them and attack too much. Right? Like, this is not who Chelsea are. This is not what we're capable of doing consistently. I don't believe it. I don't believe these clean sheets. Like, they were better defensive performances. We are not a clean sheet team, though. And to, like, change our tactics in that direction is worrying to me.
Unbelievable. He asks for defensive strength and just being able to defend for so long and, like, having a decent goalkeeper, and you finally get a goalkeeper that isn't worth -1 XG every fucking week.
Yeah.
And now you're upset.
Well, so I guess my more measured version of this is, like, what's the point of bringing in Mendy if we're going to defend like we still have Kepa? Do you know what I mean? Why are they defending so aggressively if we went and got a keeper that allows us to attack?
No, because they weren't defending before. They aren't defending now like they had Kepa. Because before, they knew they had Kepa, so they kept shitting themselves because they were so scared if the ball would ever go back. Now they're actually able to defend as defenders, not having to worry about the handicap behind them. Like, he's literally worth a goal to the other team every week.
Absolutely,
because he's going to run out and then kick and then run back and then dive and then fall and then just go, like against Southampton when you were like 3-1 up.
That's also part of why I wasn't so mad about the draw last weekend. It's because Kepa, like, why am I gonna bother getting mad about it at this point?
So bad that now Petr Cech has come out of retirement. He's like the Undertaker at a fucking WrestleMania, dusted off the scrum cap. And
Frank Lampard is Paul Bearer.
Like, Cech is probably still like the 5th best goalkeeper in the league out of the first. Like, he can still do it, and he's not even older than Willy Caballero. It's fantastic.
I know. We were crying for Willy, and now Cech is younger than him, better than him, and I'm like, wait a minute, is Cech all of a sudden our 2nd best goalkeeper? Maybe our best, but like keeper, we gotta go with Mendy. Actually,
what kind of situation exists where the most expensive goalkeeper in history is 4th choice at his club?
2020, this one. This is the situation.
Right now.
Right now, the one we are in.
You know what I mean? Like,
love it.
Madnesses.
So, obviously, I'm happy that we, like, proved that we can defend as, like, a demonstration of concept almost. But, like, I don't want this to be our tactics.
Maybe it's just to shut up the press for a week and then he's just going to go
all
out.
Yeah, sure. And I did say to you, like, you asked me when does Chelsea need to be firing on all cylinders for you to be not worried or whatever. Like, you basically were like, give me a timeline. And I said the next international break, the one that's coming up in about 3 weeks or so.
2 more games, yeah.
2 more games. So if in those 2 games plus Champions League on Wednesday and...
You got Champions League, Champions League, international break, back, League, Champions League, League.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We had a Champions League last week. We have one this week. We have one next week. Like, so there's a lot of games between now and then. We need to have a complete and comprehensive performance, even if not a win, because sometimes scorelines go against you, unlucky bounces, whatever. But we need to have a match where we are significantly better and running the fucking show in attack. We have yet to get all 4 for more than like 15 minutes of Ziyech, Werner, Havertz, and Pulisic, so like that's still coming. So insofar as like this was useful to show that we can defend and like get that half of our game sort of running, that's great. We have also, like, I'm not at all worried that we're not going to be able to score a million goals and attack like crazy. Look at the players we have, right? So like that's not even a concern. The 0.2 XG, like, unpleasant but not worrying. What I want is for those 2 things to happen together. I want our defenders to look competent at least, not great, but competent, while allowing our attack to go forward and just fucking run riot.
Would you say that a fixture trilogy of Burnley, Sheffield United and Newcastle would be the perfect conditions for such a thing to gestate?
Maybe.
For instance.
Because I think for what you've just said, there would not be possibly a single better set of 3 fixtures for you right now to do that.
Yeah, I hope they don't just sit back and defend too much because we do need some space to run into with our attackers, but like those are weak opponents that we should be fucking destroying.
It's not the responsibility of the other team to worry about whether you can attack. You know, if they do that, you've got to find a way to break them down. That's
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right, well, let's move on to the one team that might just straight up be good, although maybe there are question marks now, given one specific set of things that happened last weekend. We have Liverpool 2, Sheffield United 1, Liverpool 2.4 to Sheffield's 1.4 on XG, so exactly lining up with the scoreline. The big story here, other than Liverpool winning, which, like, is that even a story anymore? Because we didn't record last week, is the Van Dijk horrendous injury.
Huh?
And he's out for probably the whole season.
Wait a minute. Football players can get injured.
Sometimes.
This is never... Why is not being said about this? I didn't realise the game was so right, cancel it. Stop now. We can't play football anymore. Players can get hurt. It's unacceptable.
Pickford should be in jail for that tackle.
I was going to say, sorry, Chuck, what's your position here? Are you pro Pickford?
Am I pro Pickford? Oh, fuck.
Did you sign the petition that says put Pickford in jail?
Can I just go back to being anti-Liverpool?
I mean, I never stopped being anti-Liverpool, so of course you can.
Can it just be that the unbearables, as I will forever know them as, just are back? Like, that's... I tried to like them. I tried to be nice.
Are you concerned about them with Van Dijk out?
Yeah. Alisson's back.
Alisson is back, but look at how the immediate difference between Van Dijk versus Calvert-Lewin was versus Gomez against Calvert-Lewin, where Calvert-Lewin could jump a clear 3 feet higher than Gomez, it seemed, for every aerial duel. Like, it was absolutely ridiculous. So, yeah, I would be pretty worried just about the basics of crosses coming in. Yeah, I would be
It's
worried.
a worrying situation where you're starting to think, what if we can get Dejan Lovren back?
Exactly. It's not the same as bringing Czech back, is it?
Yeah, Joe Gomez has not looked good, and I've liked Joe Gomez for a few years, and he's just not settled at any point into the season. But then again, Liverpool hadn't really, at no point have they looked like even Liverpool really last season, or the season before when they were a swashbuckling team. Like, it all just seems a little bit ropey still. Like, they still have the undeniable talent and that kind of almost the get out of jail free card that can come with that at times, but like we've said so many times about them riding their luck, and going 1-0 down to Sheffield United this year as well is
and yeah, Sheffield, who have, by the way, 1 point, and Liverpool conceded 1.4 XG against them, and an actual goal too. Like, that's not the most reassuring win, if you know what I mean.
No.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see to what extent Liverpool minus Virgil van Dijk are just Chelsea, because I've been saying that for a while, and the underlying numbers have showed that the two teams are incredibly similar, more similar to each other than any two teams in the top half are, right? Like, no one else is the same as much as Liverpool and Chelsea are the same in terms of the underlying numbers for the last 2-ish seasons. So the difference has to be the players on the pitch, right? And specifically Kepa versus Alisson and their whole defensive line versus our whole defensive line, or lack thereof. So the idea that Liverpool might be, I don't know, having to rely on an attack to cover their defensive frailties due to a lack of elite defensive personnel and having to run the score up potentially on teams, like, is one, exciting as a neutral, and two, potentially, nom 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 nom, so fucking delicious if they just become Chelsea. Like,
yeah, I think so, but I just think they need to. I don't know. They seemed very relaxed a lot of the time, and like it was quite exhausting. But, well, the league campaigns anyway, and what they've gone through with, you know, getting to a Champions League final and coming very close to the league, like losing by 1 point. That's quite exhausting and a bit deflating. They came back and then, you know, won the league last year, and it's fantastic. So, but it's got to be a little bit of kind of after the Lord Mayor's show a touch. Like we saw it in Project Restart, and then we're kind of seeing it this year that they're just not. It doesn't really look like they have that hunger, that energy, that fuck you kind of vibe, that rock and roll football, as they said, like Klopp plays, and it's all a bit bitty and a bit all over the place. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I think it's just because there's no, like right now, there's no team where you can say like they're definitely winning the league. And I said before, I know it's still super early doors, but there is a situation here where someone could come in and that's never won it before, right? And there's just so many teams again that it seems like they're getting close and then they stumble. Like Tottenham. So you're saying this is Everton's year? Is that where you're at right now? No, but I mean, well, no, not after, you know, then they just go and lose to Southampton this week, who have been good, but not as good as Everton have been. But it's... Yeah, let me throw this scoreline out so we can transition then to Everton and you can drop your excellent takes. Southampton 2, Everton 0. Southampton with 0.7 to Everton's 0.3. 0.3 from Everton is very bad. Swapping Richarlison for Iwobi is not many goods. Nope, Digne getting sent off is not many goods for Everton or for my Fantrax team. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
That's the real point. Red card? Yes? Are we all agreement? Red card? Yeah, red card. Not violent conduct. Serious foul play is the one that they're saying, but definitely a red card. I think he would probably have got a yellow were it not for the fact he already took a couple of nibbles. Like, I think he had 2 what looked like swipes and then kind of crossed over and at that point was just fishing with dynamite and just thought, fuck you. Like, it was kind of an accident. And so I think the ref kind of saw him swipe twice and that was kind of it. Like, didn't consult VAR, didn't check. Was just like, no, that's it. Job done. See you later. Bye. Popped out. But to come back to the title winning question, are you genuinely looking at Everton and being like, oh, someone's going to make a title run. They're already up way ahead of points. Like, they are 4 points clear of Chelsea, 5 points clear of City. They're tied with Liverpool, obviously. And they are 6 points clear of Manchester United. So those are the other, contenders, quote unquote. At the minute, it reminds me a bit of how we said that there was the stumble for 4th place in the league last year. Except this year, it's the stumble for 1st place. So there's so many teams that aren't doing it that you're getting close and it's like, oh god, no, you go, no, please, you go, and I don't know, maybe Leeds win it or something fucking stupid. They won't. No. But there is just an amount of what the fuck about anything, and there is no dominant team right now. There is no team that you can say that's the one that is so close to switching it on based on what we've seen this year, I think, or what I've seen at least this year, that it's just like there is such a small margin for them to absolutely shine past everyone. And so I just think it comes down to consistency, and I think it comes down to managing players with injuries and how you keep that consistent play in your squad. Because if that's what's going to happen to Everton with just Richarlison going for a Iwobi to start the game anyway, because I think Dinia's red card, I don't think any goals came after that. I think it was fairly later on.
It was late. It was fairly
later on. And if that's what's going to happen, if you just lose that one guy who can run in behind and playing those balls across, like...
Yeah, it does feel like there's a lot of teams that are 1 or 2 injuries away from, like, being real fucking bad and losing, like, their ability to do everything. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, there's a lot of squads built around, like, just 2 key pieces. And if that falls off, like, now you're a much, much worse team.
I mean, look at City. You take out a striker. Done.
Yeah.
Like an absolute shadow of their former selves.
Yeah, with a manager like Pep as well.
It's just, so it's the darker side of chaos, guys. It's the behind the music. It's the VH1.
This is the middle segment of Behind the Music where it's like he was injecting heroin straight into his penis before the concerts.
Nice. Yeah.
Well, lovely. Not nice, but...
All right, well, let's move on then to Wolverhampton Wanderers 1 to Newcastle United 1.
Oh, no, come on. We like this one for fantasy football.
Go ahead and take it. There was 0.8 to 0.3 on XG, so it was a boring match.
We're Sace owners, Ian.
Oh, yeah, of course we are. Yeah, bank that clean sheet. Beautiful.
Bank that fucking clean sheet. What's that? Sace has gone off. Is he injured? Oh, no. Okay, well, got the clean sheet. Boom.
Yeah.
Shame. No chance of bonus points. What? Late free kick for Newcastle. Oh.
I've not been that engaged in the football because I've been moving house this weekend, but I saw the Newcastle goal pop up on like my app, and I was like, oh fucking hell, that's Sace's clean sheet gone. And then I go on about 15 minutes later, I go on live FPL and check my rank, and it's like, oh, that's clean sheet hasn't disappeared. What's going on there? Must be having trouble, blah, blah. And then I saw it gone off. And usually when a player goes off at 67 minutes or whatever it was, you're fuming. And I was like, fucking get in!
Get in! I had the same.
Celebrated that like a goal. It was beautiful.
I had the same because I had Alan St. Maximan as well on the other side, who also got subbed off after 60 minutes, but before the Wolves goal. So I was like, woohoo!
Bank that clean sheet point.
And then the Newcastle goal. Sace went straight up to a boner point. Thank you very much.
Love it.
You can keep your Semedos. You can keep your Kilmans.
Semedo, wasn't he a character in GoldenEye?
Semedo. GoldenEye?
Yeah, N64 GoldenEye.
Bond.
I could have sworn there was a character that sounded like that. Anyway,
Trevelyan. Xenia's Arcade not on the top. Anyway, sorry.
So we had the next, and well, I guess, are we going to talk about the Monday matches? I guess we could mention the Monday matches. I don't know what the scores are, but the last match on Sunday, Arsenal 0, Leicester 1, both of them on exactly 0.74 XG.
Jamie Vardy.
Vardy's back.
Having a party, beating Thomas Partey and scoring goals. 24% of Jamie Vardy's goals have come against Arsenal, Liverpool and Manchester City.
Ayo, I heard, yeah.
Fair enough.
That's...
Chat shit, get banged, bruv. He's back. I transferred him out this week. Yeah. Transferred out Jimenez this week. Yep.
Transferred out the 1-goal heroes. That's
I got Aguero. That's good. And
Kane still hasn't done anything as it stands. So we're on 50 minutes. Still hasn't done anything.
Yeah. Mark Daffin has placed bets on fucking every permutation of Kane getting any sort of anything. It's a curse! It's a curse!
He's jinxed it. And you can get those betting tips at patreon.com/MilesOffSidePod.
Jesus. How not to bet with Mark Daffin.
I like it. He's deliberately doing these things to make sure fantasy things go his way.
Yeah, spite's a great motivator sometimes.
It really is, yeah.
Shall we talk about...
You've done it before, Chuck. You've bet against Palace, so as you're happy with whatever outcome.
Many times. I usually put about... I have done in the past when Palace have been at about 11th, 12th in February time. Put £100 on Palace to go down because you get.
Literally in my head. I was imagining you saying, "I've literally put about a ton on it." Then you said that.
Yes. Yeah, I have done. I told my dad once, and I think it was when we then stayed up against Hull on like the second to last day of the season about 3 years ago. And I told him when we were about 4-0 up, and a little piece of him died inside.
Oh, bless.
Like, you know, when you just see the glint go out of someone's eye and you go, oh, I'm not your child anymore, am I?
You never were.
Anyway.
Monday, October 26th, which is today, the day we are recording, we had Brickton 1, West Bromwich Albion 1.
Bunch of shit bricks.
Oh my god, another game where neither team was over 1xg, 0.6 to 0.3. How many fucking boring matches were there
I told you, Chelsea and Man United broke the league. They broke it. You fucked it. We had too much of a nice thing. Everyone started complaining. Frank Lampard came along and fucked it.
All right, well, any takes on Brighton versus West Brom that just happened? I didn't watch it because I was prepping for this podcast.
Brighton or shit.
Brighton or shit. All
I've
right,
been saying this for years, guys. Brighton or shit.
Can we get a live update on Burnley-Tottenham? Because I have no idea what the score is. We can do.
At the minute, it's still 0-0. 50 minutes gone, 51 minutes gone, 0-0. Let me get the live XG for you. Bear with me.
You can have the live XG. Tottenham have 64% possession. They have had 3 shots off target. Burnley have had 6 shots. 2 of them on target, 4 off target.
Yeah, oh my God. Infogol has got this at Burnley 0.18 XG and Tottenham 0.15. We are not missing much by recording. Jesus Christ. That is anti-football. Oh my God.
That is so bad. That genuinely...
There has been 1 shot inside the box in
for
52 minutes of football.
Game's gone.
Well... I'm glad we're recording this instead of watching that.
Yeah, that was a good choice. Good Lord.
No good. All right, well, that's all the fixtures, which means that it is my time to hand off hosting duties to someone else. And I'm going to kick back and just troll the shit out of you guys and make your jobs hard. So let's go on.
Well, I mentioned it a few times. Should we do FPL? Let's do FPL. How was it going this week? Ian Stimson, how's your team?
I don't know. I've not really looked.
Oh, funny. Oh, he's not really. Oh,
how convenient. How convenient.
Oh,
no.
One's had
let
a
me
good
tell
week.
you. I checked
my
Saturday.
team's in binary.
My team.
Yeah, I bet it is. I checked Saturday scores on Sunday morning, and I was like, oh Jesus, it was nothing but blanks. It was really awful, and it's not much better now. Yeah, I captained Salah for a blank. Basically Wolves are my only returners with Saiss and Jimenez. So at the minute, it's very, very poor. I've got Son still playing, but not captained. So yeah.
Yeah, I've got Son and Kane still playing. Saiss, I got a return. I had Zaha, which is good. I've got Martinez, Click, and James on the bench, which is a 16 points right there.
Oh
That's
yeah,
good.
I've got a high scoring bench because I put my Southampton defenders there. I've got McCarthy in goal and Walker Peters. I mean,
to be fair though,
awful.
That's not a bad play. That's just bad luck.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I don't beat myself up about stuff like that because it's just.
But how many points are you on?
Well, the official site says 33 at the minute.
33.
Yeah. What are you on?
I'm on 31.
31.
Oh, hey, Stats Robot's in the lead so far. Hey.
What? Oh, so it's your team. It's your team again.
No,
is it?
I specifically said Stats Robot, not my team. It is not my team, but I'm still proud of them for doing well. You can support things that aren't your own. Double Burnley defense looking like it might pay out too.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm looking at the Miles Offside Patreon League now, and there is so little variation in scores, it's ridiculous. It goes from 40 to 28, and that's with like 14 teams in there. It's
last week too. Last week everybody was in like the 80s. It was crazy.
Yeah, everyone's just done appallingly this week. So, but regarding the Stats Robots team that you're sort of taking control of, Oscar, with your stats and so forth, you've had a bit of an uptick recently. You obviously captained Werner last week, having held on to him when no one else did.
Madness. Fucking madness.
The models loved the fixture and loved his numbers,
you're getting,
lo and behold.
Yeah, you're getting more games now, more sample size for this season. It seems to be
Yeah, we did have a
now.
huge rework of the fixture rater and the underlying FPL PQI player quality index numbers to weight more significantly on this season's data. It was mostly running off of last season's data because sample size.
Yeah.
So there are some pretty radical changes in the list, including, much to my chagrin, one Harold Kane moving very quickly up the rankings. So we'll see if we can find funds for him. But yeah, good couple of weeks. 86 last week. Wow. Captain Werner really did pay out.
You're on
and
37 at the minute, which is a good week this week. So
37, and if that double Burnley clean sheet comes in, because we have Pope and we have Taylor.
Oh, God, you do, yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
That's huge. Yeah, that would fly
you
up, actually.
almost might overtake Finley.
Hey! Let's go, robots! Who won last week, by the way? We didn't record, so what about the head-to-head Chuck versus Ian last week?
I didn't mention it, so I think we know who won.
Is that right? I thought you won last week.
Yeah. No, you won by a point. 28-29 in the end.
Oh, that's painful.
That was shit. That
That is really, yeah. Oh, God,
shit.
yeah. 28-29.
Many, like, all of our shit weeks, we've done it together.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, we have been quite tied together, yeah. So, yeah, I'm 3 points ahead in the head-to-head at the minute, yeah. So, and this week, unless something happens, it might be another 3 points to me. But if Kane goes, I'm done. So, yeah, he's got half an hour. So, Oscar, what's the plan for this week with the stats robots?
Just a standard transfer. I haven't run the numbers yet or updated them because I'm waiting for the Tottenham result to come in. Last week I apologize to the 5 people who care about this team or whoever. I forgot that there was a Friday kickoff, so I put a poll out Friday morning about who should we captain.
Yeah.
And it was irrelevant about 3 hours later.
Brilliant.
And we accidentally left the armband on one Jack Grealish. So, not great.
That could have been a good move.
Could have been.
Yeah. Never mind.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I got to look at the numbers. We'll probably be moving on Lundstrom if he's still in there. Is he still in there? If Lundstrom's still in there, he's probably going to be the thing that the model yells at me to move. Because he's just not doing shit anymore. Yeah, he's still in there, so that's got to be it.
Rian Brewster, get rid, all that stuff, garbage. Clean out your teams.
Chuck, transfer plans?
I should probably get rid of Aguero, shouldn't I? Probably.
Yeah.
Unless he's not actually hurt. Who fucking knows with Pep?
Yeah, he said KDB was out for a few games and then, well, he say that? He just said games plural and everyone the shit themselves.
He just said weeks. He said weeks, yeah.
Oh, did
that could just be an accidental pluralisation. You know what I mean? Don't read too much into it, guys. Live your life. See what happens. I'll probably wait until after Champions League and then swallow my pride and get Patrick Bamford in.
Oh,
well, that's
don't do it to yourself.
That's so funny you say that because I've got two free transfers this week. I've already moved one.
The Stimson double play.
Yeah, so I couldn't bear to lose any more value on fucking Mitrovic. And
fair.
On Friday, I wanted to do it on Friday night before he dropped again. And after that hat trick, my finger nearly went to Bamford, and he would have loved it. But
look, the numbers and all of stats could be wrong, right? Like the history of all statistical analytical work could be completely wrong, and he's a great pick. I don't know. Who knows? Or like actually, jokes aside, like something changed about him this year. Who fucking knows? Like that does happen sometimes. But be careful.
Well, for the record, I didn't transfer Bamford in. It went Mitrovic to Watkins, but then exactly what you were saying earlier of just Grealish seems to have got, which for a fantasy player and blah, blah, blah is really good, like the selfish streak in him. But does it mean Watkins is ever going to get a fucking touch? And the second I did it, I was like, oh, shit, should I have done it? But I just couldn't have Mitrovic stinking up my team anymore. And now I'm left with, do I get rid of Alexander-Arnold? Because, no.
Yes.
I'll leave Watkins for a little while now.
Yes. Yes.
I feel like I should, but then what do? Sideways move for Robertson? Go down?
Redirect those funds to up front or midfield. There's so many good attacking mids and forwards.
What you should have done is just saved it and made the double move and upgraded Mitrovic to someone who isn't Mitrovic.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Gone up.
Yeah, just get your money out of defense. There's no reliability in defense this year. There's no consistent clean sheets coming out of anywhere.
Robertson's attacking returns are still making him viable, whereas that's dried up for Alexander-Arnold. So
I am holding on Robertson, but I would shift Alexander-Arnold.
Yeah, I might do. Or I might go Ferguson, who I've had as my 4.0 for ages. I might bump him up to Ayling and then start rotating my defenders.
Get an Ayling or Dallas. Go for that.
Yeah.
Ayling's in my fan tracks and he's been clutch. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely go for Ayling.
Yeah, I mean, still, I do feel like he's a good player. So, yeah, I mean, I'm all over the place, really. I don't know what to do. But let's talk about something else. The Predictor League has been updated and has got a jingle or something.
The Predictor League! They got predictions is back for another season of chaos! Everyone's really shit.
So just like the real league.
Yeah. So I'm going to run through it. Predictor League, for those that don't know. Start of the season, bang, predict where you think all 20 teams will finish in the league this year. None of you are right. Have a serious word with yourselves. You fucked it all. Why wouldn't you put Manchester City in 13th?
Why wouldn't you?
33 entrants and propping up the table on 120 points is the brother and sister pair of Safira and Matthew Gold.
No, really?
Yes, Fulham fans as well, so, get used to being at the bottom. Above that is...
Did they put Fulham top and have just got plus 20 points?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, Fulham will be going to Europe this year. Brexit. Above that is my lovely girlfriend Gina, who is just happy to not be last. We then have Jordan Cohen, Bayern Brew, Dan Parkinson, Mark Daffin. Boo! Mark Daffin, the killer of fun, claimer of souls. That takes us up to 27th. Then we have Tom Townley, producer, girlfriend haver, all-round nice guy, Nate D-Dub Whittam. And Oscar Puente. Hey! 112 points, mate, and 24th place. Yay!
The standard is bad this year.
Yeah, the standard is bad. Then we have Mark Howes, Lynn Hammer, Rob Heppenstall, Oscar Dalton, Sam Danby, Van Dam Samby, and GP Jeff Pedder, all rocking 18th place, 110 points. Alex Sampson. We then have the average score from the three of us, bang in the middle of the league at 16th.
Oh, right, lovely.
Padfall, Adam Punching Bag P, Johnny Worthington, and Ian Stimpson.
Okay.
Joint 12th. We then have Chris Smith, Gabriel, 10th, John O.G., 9th, Blair Williamson, 8th, James from Who Kicked the Corner Flag in 7th, Big Chucky B, 6th place at even 100 points, baby.
6th place is 100
God, 6th
points?
place is on 100 points?
Yeah,
wow.
Above that is Oscar's massively better half, Dr. Emily Drennan, on 98, where she feeds kids as well. So many kids. She's out there feeding all the kids. MBE, give her a knighthood.
In a way.
Dame Emily Drennan, James Doncaster, and Oscar Dalton's father, who I don't know if he knows we entered him.
Papa
He sent
Dalton.
us. Yeah, I've just got him as Papa Dalton. I don't know what Oscar's dad's name is. Who knows? In second place is the wonder from down under, Mr. Dave Mateo.
Who, by the way, we should say congratulations. He did an excellent job on his master's thesis presentation. He is putting the final touches on the actual paper, and he is going to be done with his graduate work in stats really fucking soon. I am so proud of him. We are so proud of him. He's a great fucking dude. So congrats, Dave. All the happiness in the world.
Good work, Dave.
Yeah, but is he feeding millions of kids, Oscar? That's the question.
Or is he top of the predictor league?
He is second to, based on time of entry.
Which is the one they all want.
The one they all want. It's the one.
That's the way you want to win.
Spawn, the seed of super producer. Win Lee Stimpson. Win Robert Lewandowski. Top of the Predictor League, joint with Dave Mateo on 94 points.
For some context to newer listeners, I spent most of the first season flirting with 100 but couldn't break the mark, and I was very far into last place that season. Very far into last place.
Can I say, I've never been prouder than my son to be topping the Predictor League 6 game weeks in when Man City are 13th. Just such a proud moment. Just such a proud moment.
Yeah, it's not going to end well for him, is it?
No. He will love it that he's still top because he was top a few weeks ago as well.
Yeah, that was when he started listening to the pod.
Yeah.
Hi, Finley.
Oh, God. Oh, he doesn't. Oh.
He has his own phone now. He's definitely listening to this podcast. I don't care that he's 10. Wouldn't you?
That's the priority of a 10-year-old, to listen to his father talk about football with us.
When he gets a fucking mention, because every pissing week, because he's like top of the predictor league, he's definitely listening.
Yeah, that's true. He's hungry for it.
Just don't let Kelly find out.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Otherwise, we're not allowed to do a podcast anymore.
Can't have nice things to get taken away. Well, Tottenham is still 0-0. Jeff Petty, your team's a hunk of shit. I hate you.
I'm gonna be guesting on Jeff Pedder's podcast. Jeff Pedder's got a podcast now.
Wait, he invited you? Why didn't he invite me? We're like best friends.
I'll tell you why.
I like Jeff. For the record, I like Jeff very much. It's just that he's a Spurs fan, and I have to talk shit about Spurs at every possible waking moment. But besides that, he's a great guy.
Is there some sort of hint that I should take here that you two keep getting invited on podcasts and I'm...
I don't know, mate.
Am I the baddie? Am I...
Moving on to the next segment. What do we, Ian, what's next? Let's transition away from this conversation. No, I'm just kidding. Chuck, you're a good guy. You're a good guy.
Am I the baddie?
You're fine, buddy. You're fine.
Daddy hurt me.
You're okay.
Daddy, don't hurt Mummy.
You're fine. You're fine.
Yeah.
Don't cry.
Oh, man. So you're going to be on Jeff's podcast, Ian.
Yeah, so Jeff runs a website, FAF, where you can predict the score lines of all the Premier League games. And out of everyone on the website last season, I came top. Don't like to talk about it, but I did come top.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah, out of everyone on the website. And then this season, I've fucking crashed and burned. It's been absolutely shocking, which I presume is why he wants to get me on. But FAFcast is Jeff's podcast, and I'll be on that. But get on the website as well, because it's good fun. Predict score lines every week and then bet on them and lose money. That's good fun as well. But enough of that. Oscar, we're going to reintroduce a very popular segment that we did while we were all under lockdown and there was no football. We're going to reintroduce the Bluffer. We're going to rotate hosts,
Blah, 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 blah.
and we're going to keep score. I think you've prepared a best of 3 for today.
Yeah, so we briefly talked about this a couple of weeks ago, but we are going to take turns hosting. So every week there's going to be 3 possible categories, best of 3, of lists of things that you have to try to guess how many of those you can list, and the other person will call you out on whether you are right or wrong, etc.
We did not rip off Luke's game from the Football Ramble.
No, we were doing this ages ago.
Yeah, I mean, probably around the same time he was.
Probably
I
just
miss
after.
going for gold. Can we do that?
Sure. Are we just gonna do a feature where we talk about old Football Ramble features?
Well, if they've like dropped the baton, can we just sort of like pick it up, just wipe it a bit, and just jump off into the hedge and
bring players into the Dean Windass Hall of Fame? Yeah, we can do all of that.
Yeah, we could do. No, I just want to do going for gold. I miss it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know any footballers, so
no, it'd be bad for us.
I don't know what glold is. It sounds gross, like a disease you might get in Amsterdam. When you're losing 13-0, but
they got proper gold.
They did.
Funny goals.
All right, well, let's get to the
just
Bluffer.
admin-wise, how is this working? So even though you're doing best of 3 today, so this is me versus Chuck today. Obviously, we rotate hosts, but who wins today gets what? 1 point, and then that's
Yeah.
Maths.
You get 1 point for the like towards the final tally of the season.
Yeah,
and you can pop it on your executive whiteboard behind you, Stimson.
That's just a off-white wall from moving into a new house. They're all just off-white. If I take to this with a permanent marker, Kelly's going to really never let me record again.
I never said permanent.
Dry erase.
Sorry. Of course.
All right, so let's start things off then. I'm going to say Ian goes first.
Okay.
Just because. You get the first bid.
Arbitrary.
You were sort of the winner over the summer. So our first category today is...
Sort of the winner over summer. That's the dig.
Best I could hope for.
Yeah. That was a botched trophy situation.
No, it was not.
Literally, all parties involved were in agreement at the time. But okay.
Yeah. I'm not having this reimagining of history.
He named 30 Beatles songs. He's old. Give him something. For God's sake. He's already being usurped by his son.
Just give it time. He'll be the super producer soon. There can only be one. Gentlemen, Ian specifically, there are 11 sovereign states, or countries, if you will, that begin with the letter O or P. How many of those can you name? Countries beginning with the letter O or P. It's 11 to choose from.
Yeah, I'm aware there's 11. I'm trying to think of one. Okay. I will bid 1.
I will bid 2. Ian, put the globe down.
I will bid 3.
3. Oof, low bids on this one. I don't think you guys
Can I
are confident
just
of your
slightly
countries.
interject here, Oscar, because I just want to make it clear to Ian that Peterborough doesn't count. Okay?
Can I reduce my bid of 3?
I'll
All right, I
go-
have 3. Chuck, would you like to go higher than 3?
I will go. Yeah, I'll go. Oh fuck! I've just forgotten what I had in my head.
That's why you need a pad.
But you cheating bastard!
Yeah, you're not supposed to write
5.
them down.
I'll go 5.
5.
5?
Ian,
Yeah, I'm
we
going
have
5. I'm
6.
jumping 1. Can you do 6? I don't think you can do 6.
6 puts you over the 50% mark.
No, I'm out. Go 5.
All right. Ian has called Chuck's bluff. So, Chuck, you have to give me 5 countries beginning with the letters O or P.
Oman,
1.
Panama,
Oh,
2.
Nice.
Peru,
3.
Paddington, obviously.
Paraguay.
4.
Fuck.
Oh, does the count as the country beginning with T?
No, it does not.
Cool. Philippines.
Yes, 5. Very good.
Very good, mate.
There you go.
done.
Do you have any more you want to finish out the list you can think of? Or, Ian, anything you want to throw in?
Pakistan.
Pakistan?
Well, I know it is a country. You don't need to check it.
No, correct.
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't see it on the list. I was like, that's a country. Is it not officially recognized by
I
the
mean,
UN?
I know you
What?
don't really do geography, and passports aren't like. Come on, man.
No. Anyway,
So Pakistan. Let me just check their UN status.
Let me just see if he's just saying words now.
So what that takes to 6. There's 5 left.
It feels like there should be more beginning with O.
nope, it's just Oman. It's just the one.
Okay, it's O and Q. There's only one country. Papua New Guinea.
Oh, very good.
Yep.
Very
Mhm.
good.
I'll finish it out for you guys so we can move on. It's Portugal, Poland,
Jesus Christ.
and Palau, which is not a country I've ever heard of. But
Brexit, innit, mate? We're not.
Yeah, no, they're not even.
Portugal, Poland.
They're
All
not
right,
even people.
moving on then
Pacific
to
Island.
Chuck. Would you like left or right?
Left Twix.
Left Twix. Very good then, Chuck. There were, if you cast your mind all the way back
Uh-oh.
to earlier pod days, we made a Christmas playlist, a Very Mop Christmas. There are 25 songs on the A Very Mop Christmas playlist.
Oh my God.
How many of those 25 do you think you can name?
Oh, man. Like,
You've listened to that playlist quite a bit.
yeah, I know, but just songs? Or just, like, do I need title and artist? Or...
I'll be generous here.
Okay.
I'll use my discretion, but I'll be generous.
3? I'll start on 3.
3. Ian, do you want to go more than 3 on songs on the Very Mop Christmas playlist?
4.
All right, we got 4. Do I hear 5?
5. I'll say 5.
5. I got 5 here. Do I hear 6? 6. Do I hear 6?
6.
6. You say
Ooh,
6.
6. All right.
Oh, I'm punting. I'll be punting. Punt in 7.
7. 1 out of 3-ish. 1 out of 4-ish songs.
1 out of 3.5. Let's do that, baby.
No, go on.
Bastard!
I'm out. Sorry.
Wow, Ian is an absolute coward this week. Chuck, for the
Playing
win,
defensively. Yeah.
can you name 7? Was it 7? Is that the right number?
7,
yeah.
yeah. Just
Yes.
because
Can you name 7 songs?
I can remember your great commentary on it and the fact that you were worried about playing the music out loud on the thing. So it was just you going, oh, this is nice. Oh, it's quite a long intro, blah, blah. Step into Christmas, Elton John.
Oh,
Very
yes,
good.
of course, yeah.
That's 1.
Patreons, you can listen to Oscar's commentary.
It's great. It's
on 25
fantastic.
song playlists on patreon.com/milesoffsidepod.
Yeah. I did drop a new one today as well for a Quarantine Part 2 playlist that I put together with my lovely wife, Emily, but...
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
Darkness. Don't Let the Bells End.
Oh, yeah.
Good, that's 2.
The Kelly Clarkson one, Underneath the Tree.
3, yes, the greatest Christmas song of the official Christmas song, I should say, of the Miles Outside podcast.
Absolutely.
Fuck Beans.
That is not on there,
The
no.
one by what's her name? Is it no? I'm out. I'm just gonna say Last Christmas by Wham.
Let me scroll down. I believe it is, yes, 4.
Good, right.
Good.
Was
3 more.
That wasn't on there? I know. I'm trying to remember. It is from the Swinging Christmas. The Sleigh Ride by it's from the album you really like.
Wow, what a good pull. Absolutely. Sleigh Ride by Ella Fitzgerald from Ella Wishes You a Swingin' Christmas.
I was gonna say Etta James. I was glad I didn't go for the artist.
Yeah.
Very good. 2 more.
That's become a Christmas staple album now through Oscar's influence.
I feel like there's a Katy Perry one in there, but I can't remember the name of the song. And I feel there was one Michael Bublé. So I'm gonna say, because you're a bit weird with picks sometimes, I'm going to say Michael Bublé's version of All I Want for Christmas Is You.
No, sorry. That's a negatory. I almost did, but I didn't want to be too hipster with the holiday playlists specifically as opposed to the quarantine ones. So Bublé got its beginning to look a lot like Christmas. And All I Want for Christmas went with Mariah Carey.
There was definitely a Mickey Bubbles song in there, definitely.
Absolutely.
Was there the Katy Perry one? What's the Katy Perry Christmas song?
No, there's no Katy... I don't even know if Katy Perry has a Christmas album, to be honest with you.
What else was on there?
Well, let's just run through them quickly. Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas by Michael Bublé, Kelly Clarkson, Underneath the Tree, Christmas Time, Don't Let the Bells End, The Darkness, Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow by Dean Martin, Fairy Tale of New York by The Pogues.
I didn't think that was on there.
No, and I don't particularly like it, but anyway, that was, Ian requested that one, I think, right?
That was for me.
Yeah. Leona Lewis, One More Sleep, Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas Is
I don't like Katy Perry.
This one is a favorite of mine that I think isn't popular enough, and that's the Eagles' Please Come Home for Christmas. Yeah, really good song. There are 15 more. This is taking too long, so I'm not going to stick on it. But A Marshmallow World by Seth MacFarlane, the Family Guy.
Yeah.
So, point to Ian, which means that it comes down to the tiebreaker category.
Kane got an assist for the Sun
Fuck
goal.
Fuck off.
Figure it out. Do. Chuck is the winner. Pow. Fuck you, Mark Daffin.
If that is your real name.
Let's go. I'm on top of the world.
All right, well, the
He's
tiebreaker
happy.
category, Mr. Stimson, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12
Days of Christmas.
original playable characters in GoldenEye N64. Yes, that's right. That's why I threw a little weird reference into it earlier.
Original characters.
12 playable multiplayer characters.
Oh, boy.
So, like,
Oh,
in
God.
GoldenEye,
But there were so many
007
unlockable ones.
I know, sorry.
Oh.
Actually, I guess I should say I don't know if these are the original ones. On the jamesbond.fandom.com website, this is the list of multiplayer characters for GoldenEye. So,
Do you have to get surnames as well?
nah, I'll be generous here as well.
Good. Okay, 3.
4.
Chuck goes 4.
I mean,
Ian,
I named 3 in the fucking episode.
Yeah, I was going to say, but I've forgotten that. Fucking hell. 5.
Yeah?
5 out of 12 multiplayer characters in GoldenEye 007 for N64 1997 game.
6.
50% halfway mark. Ian, can you go more than half of the playable characters in multiplayer mode of GoldenEye?
I was pushing at 5.
Yeah,
No.
I knew you fucking were.
Well, call me then. It's not my fault. I'm playing the game.
Okay.
Chuck, you got to give me 6
So
here.
you just chicken out of all of them. Chicken out of
This
all of
is
them.
how
Right,
he
many
beat
of
us in the summer. He won the fucking thing by never taking categories except for the random Beatles category.
Yeah, where I just went a million. Just fucking...
36 is the opening bid.
30. I'm done. Right, game face.
Worked, didn't it? Yeah.
All right, 6 GoldenEye characters. Let's have it, Chuck.
James Bond.
1.
Pierce Brosnan. Alec Trevelyan. Sean B.
2.
Famke Janssen.
3.
What?
Natalia Simonova, something like that.
Sure. 4.
I mean, he deserves it for knowing
General
surnames.
Arkady Urumov.
General what? Yeah, Urumov. Okay, yeah, 5. That's not even his name on the webs. It's just General.
Unbelievable. I mean, just give him the points.
Yeah, sorry, Ian. This was so favored in his side, I didn't even realize.
It's all right, yeah.
And then, what was fucking Alan Cummings' name in the film?
So funny in the film. So good. I love Alan Cummings.
I am invincible.
Yeah, so good.
Oh, fuck. Dimitri?
Yes, Dimitri. That's right.
Ah, I just went down the middle.
Now were
Very
there some
good, that is
classics?
6.
Because I had
Well, Odd Job.
Jaws and Odd Job.
Jaws.
Jaws and Odd Job, yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. Right, fine.
Okay. I just wasn't sure if because there were loads of characters you could get more.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
like Odd Job was in it, which no one was allowed to be Odd Job because you couldn't aim in GoldenEye and it wasn't fair.
Yeah, too short. Whenever I played anyone as Odd Job, I would you could lock into the kneeling position and then just float across the ground kneeling. So when I was playing Odd Job, I would just kneel and glide.
And that's it.
Brilliant.
Job done. You couldn't beat anyone. And then
Brilliant.
Scaramanga was in it. Mayday.
Scaramanga? I don't even see that.
He was the man with the golden gun.
I don't have that on this list.
Oh, okay. I thought. Oh no, maybe I'm just getting confused. Mayday was definitely there. I'm sure.
Yep, Mayday's there. The one that I was vaguely referencing before was Baron Samedi.
Yeah, from Live and Let Die.
Yep.
Right.
And Boris. Boris, who went on to play Hagrid, I believe, right? Same actor.
Robbie Coltrane.
Not to be confused with the singer.
John Coltrane.
No, isn't someone Robbie Savage? No, I don't know. Ignore what I said. Ignore all the words.
No.
It's a soccer player.
I really
Who am I
can't.
thinking of?
Not to be confused by the singer, John Coltrane. Okay. No,
Okay.
Robbie Savage.
No.
What, the footballer? No, Lily Savage. What, the cross-dresser?
Lily Cole. Colton Cole.
No.
Cotton Palmer.
Colton Palmer?
Ronald Palmer.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. You're thinking of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I'm genuinely trying to Google who I'm thinking of. Is it Robbie? Is Robbie Williams a person? It's Robbie Williams. That's who I was thinking of.
Williams.
The one and only Robbie Williams. I don't know why I thought his name was Coltrane.
That's who you're thinking of.
That is who I was thinking of, yeah.
And that's why people wanted the Bluffer back.
I'm taking the point and running with it. John Coltrane, the fucking... He's at least the musician.
All right.
Oh, dear.
I love John Coltrane.
Lovely.
Second favorite sax player. Anyway, point to Chuck.
Point to Chuck. Yeah, that's the important bit. Point to Chuck.
He's better than he ought to be. We didn't do a Burnley of the Week this week. I'm the Burnley of
There
the
was
Week.
no Burnley of the Week. All of the scores lined up with XG. They were all 0-0 fucking scores to 0-0 XG games. It was so fucking boring.
Yeah, you all need to
I was
do
really
better.
annoyed. I love giving out Burnley of the Week, and I fucking couldn't this week.
Yeah.
Stupid game. Soccer sucks.
Tottenham might be the Burnley because Burnley have got 1 XG and Tottenham have got 0.8 and they're winning 1-0. There's still a few minutes left, but
Yeah,
you know.
that's within the range.
It's not
I
much, is it?
I wouldn't
No.
give that out.
And
No, it's
Tottenham
not much.
don't concede late in games anyway, so that game is dead and done. So, fixtures next week. Friday, 30th of October, 2020 at 20 hours. Wolves host Crystal Palace. Yeah, that will be interesting, I think.
God.
But won't be able to watch it. $14.95. Fuck you. Give the money to the food bank instead. Why not? Can we donate some money? Can we donate some Patreon money to a food bank? Can we do that?
We can certainly do
Sure.
that, yeah.
Whatever Marcus Rashford's organization. Let's absolutely do that. I'm down.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we'll do what? So we got a box office game, a couple of box office games. Yeah, we'll do. We'll see if there's one in Wolverhampton. There we go. I know there's definitely one in Palace, but let's go away. Sheffield United, Man City as the early kickoff on Halloween, which could be interesting. Could it be a scare for Pep? Oh, Halloween,
Yeah, no, I got it, yeah.
Halloween. Burnley Chelsea. Fuck that. That's behind a that's behind a paywall. $14.95. Liverpool West Ham. West Ham win. Done. Aston Villa.
I hope so. I hope so.
Oh, you hope so?
That'd be great.
I thought you were telling
City
me to
and Liverpool
hold on.
dropping points is great for Chelsea's title race that I'm the only person on board with.
You know, all three are going to lose now this week.
Maybe.
Like, whatever result,
I'm fine.
because Man City, Chelsea, and Liverpool all play consecutively, you're all getting the same result. That's what's happening.
Yep. Oh, we should say for the American listeners that England went to daylight savings. We have not yet, so these kickoffs are not at the usual time.
They've got the internet.
Well, still, early Saturday is 8:30, not 7:30, 11, not 10, and 13:30 or 1:30 p.m. instead of 12:30 for the Saturday games.
And then when you're checking the time of the games, register to vote and then go vote.
Do that.
Aston Villa Southampton is the early fixture, Sunday the 1st of November. Then it's Newcastle versus Everton, Manchester United versus Arsenal, Spurs against Shit Town. Monday, 2nd of November, Fulham, West Brom, 14.95. And then Leeds, Leicester.
I think that Leeds-Leicester is the only match that I'm particularly interested in, other than, like, let's see what's happening with City, let's see what's happening with West Ham overall. Of the specific matches, none of these speak to me even a little bit. What a fucking boring set of fixtures.
Yeah, I think it's just that a lot can happen in terms of the table since it's getting more truncated, and since no one is running away from it, there's 11 teams within 3 points of each other from 10 points to 7 points. Like, you can have a big swing. Like, and at the bottom of that bracket are Manchester United in 15th. Alex Ferguson is just rolling in his chair.
Non-existent grave.
His non-existent grave. And we'll leave it there. Oh, morbid. Yeah. Ready for Halloween, I guess. Thank you very much for listening. Good to be back. Congratulations, Ian, on your lovely new home. Congratulations, Oscar, on just your resplendent being. Just being, mate.
Hair, I think. We should congratulate Oscar on his hair.
Oh, if we're doing hair, it's fucking Beardy McBeardface over there, you.
Yeah, Ian's looking very dapper with that gentleman's beard.
Swanning in here, mentioning nothing, rocking up with a tinge and a ginge on the face.
I know, I usually only masturbate like twice during the podcast while we're recording, but with Ian's beard, man, I'm like exhausted.
Yeah, and we'll leave you on that lovely thought, guys. Thank you very much for listening. Patreon.com/BarsOffsidePod. Give us money for that. Take care. Bye-bye.